Hey ladies and gents, it's Zem back and we are onto the J7W2. The J7W1 about a week ago, maybe 5 days ago, maybe 4 days ago, somewhere I lose track of time. Most days I don't even know what day of the week it is. So, back to the J7W2. When I did the review on the J7W1 and the history of it, it talked about the designer of this aircraft, Saruno. He designed the aircraft to be able to be replaced with a turbojet engine. If you look at the J7W1, you noticed with this canard type design for this aircraft, it literally opened up the rear end, obviously. And when he designed this aircraft, he was thinking along the lines of eventually replacing it with a turbojet, in particular the NE-130, which was kind of a homegrown Japanese turbojet. I'm not sure how much German technology they got out of it, but 3 of the engines were produced. None of them, of course, were fitted into the J7W1. So what we have in game is essentially the blueprints existed for the aircraft, and that's about it. You notice with the front landing gear was, of course, been dropped by quite a bit over the J7W1. I'm assuming that has to do with the propeller in the back, maybe. I'm not sure. So yeah, there's a few differences between the two aircraft. But yeah, the blueprint plane, the original design was built for a turbojet to be adapted into as the main power plant. So yeah, this is kind of interesting little airplane. If you remember the J7W1, of course, it is a multi-role. The J7W2 is also the multi-role. Historically, both these aircraft were designed to be high-altitude interceptors with very good maneuverability. However, Wargaming, in their infinite wisdom, goes, nah. We need a multi-role aircraft, so we're going to put the J7s in as a low-altitude, not very maneuverable aircraft. Fuck if I know. So, what do we get in game? Well, let's see. Let's do a little comparison between the two aircraft. Yeah, you can see right away the gun armament is staggeringly better. Bombs, rockets about the same. Survivability is a little bit better. An increase in airspeed, maneuverability stays about the same, and a slight increase in altitude performance for the J7W2. These 430s on here are stupid good. You get in on a GA, you get on a bomber, and it just absolutely wrecks everything that you hit or touch. Not the best turn and burner in the game by no means, and altitude performances, once again, maybe 3,000 meters if you're lucky. Let's see here what exactly the altitude performance is. Yeah, the optimum is 1,500 meters, so yeah, you want to stay down below that 2,000 as much as possible. It just turns into a big fat duck once you get above about 2,500 meters. Actually, about 2,000 meters, it starts to really lose some of its maneuverability. So yeah, a low altitude plane. If you're not comfortable with those kind of planes, you know this is kind of a defense fighter more than anything. Yeah, it moves around the map all right, but what it really works well at is of course, is GAs and dealing with even bomber flights. It does pretty well. You do have two pretty nice 250 kilogram bombs. If you need to take a sector, you can. If you have to drop some on, if you have to take a ground target out, it does work out pretty well. And you know from the J7W1 video what I'm talking about. So I'm going to bring up the gameplay for the J7W2, and I'm running very similar equipment and pilot skills. This, of course, was already my J7W1 pilot, so I just moved it over here to the 2. I do run self-sealing fuel tanks. I have notoriously bad luck of this thing starting on fire. So yeah, I dropped that in there to try to keep the flamage out. Gyroscopic gun sight, and of course lightweight airframe, just to give it a little bit more help with that maneuverability. Like I said, airspeed and altitude performance, you're never going to do enough to make that really work for this aircraft. So try to get some of the maneuverability up, at least in my opinion. So I'll bring up the gameplay for you guys to see this airplane in action. Still one of the coolest looking jets in game, in my opinion. There's just something about it. It's just kind of, yeah. It's just something about it. I don't know what. Maybe it looks so sleek. Maybe it looks so modern. I don't know. Kind of a neat design. So I always thought the J7W1 was the same way too. So I'm going to bring up the gameplay for you guys to check out the J7W2. Alright, back with the second game in the J7W2. So, we got a 5 objective map here. I got a human pilot here with Shireen. He's playing the IL-20, and he's a pretty good pilot actually, so we're going to kind of work in concert here on the first objective. I'm going to take care of the fighters, try to keep him off his tail, and hopefully start flipping this objective relatively quick. Nail the first baddie, and he is working on the ground targets. So, looking around for my next target, and yeah, can't find one for some reason. Rolling on through here, he's going to get some of that target. I'm going to drop a few bombs here too, and hopefully turn this objective. Yep, flip it over. And that's what, like I said, this is what the multi-role does. This is what the J7W2, J7W1 do. You have the bombs big enough to take out about a medium-sized target. Deal with the defense fighters. You know, that's what a multi-role does. It takes objectives. You know, with its big guns, its bomb load and whatnot. However, this does have a, you know, you can play it however you want to play it, as long as you're winning with it. I don't really give a fuck. So I got an incoming bomber flight here, and I'm going to try to intercept it as quick as possible here. They're working on the next objective on the other side. As long as I can keep this command center rolling and keep the bombers up, we are going to be have an advantage. We're not doing a very good job of taking this north garrison, but it's relatively close to our spawn point. So if we have to, if I die or Shireen happens to die, someone can slide over there and take it pretty relatively easy. So I'm going to pick up the bomber formation coming through. And 430s, yeah, boom. It does a damn nice job of taking out bomber formations. Obviously, human bombers are a different story. If you're going to do singles, they just have too much altitude for this machine, and you're going to take forever to get up there. However, bombing formations are well within the realm of this aircraft as a multi-role. Pick up the next bomber, and now we're going to be looking for the last bomber here. So finish him off, and I've protected the last command center. So pick up the ME-262 coming through, back around here and see if I can make another pass on him. But unfortunately, he's just out of my range. Don't quite have the turn ability to get around on him. So, yeah, there's no sense in chasing him. I'm going to turn back here and start heading back toward the next set of bombers. However, he is a cheeky fuck, because that's what these asshole bots do nowadays. They just keep constantly after you. But, however, I got 430s too, dickhead. Tobias, you prick. And, yeah, we're going to finish him off. And we're going to have Taurus. I don't know. Oh, I don't remember this guy. Must be a new bot. Can't quite get him. He's out of my range, so I'm not going to worry about it. Can't chase him. Not worth it. I got the bomber flight coming in here shortly. But, like any good bot, he's going to try to keep making passes at me. So I'm kind of watching my tail here. Waiting for the bomber formation to get a little closer so I can finish off this threat to my command center. Put a couple shells into him. Yeah. Wreck the next bomber in flight. Finish him off. And you know what? With the bomber, with this multi-role, especially the J7W2, a lot of times I go with the GAs if they're going to, say, a mining facility. With them 2 bombs, I usually go over there, soften up 2 targets, and then use my 30s to take out some lightly armored targets for them, and protect them for a little while, at least until I'm no longer needed, and then move off at least until we take the objective. It's amazing when you drop 2 bombs on 2 different targets, those are what the bots see right off the bat. So by softening them up a little bit, it's a little easier to deal with here. Pick up Gleb going on the LA9. See if I can put some shells into him. Put 1 shell. Come on, can I get another one? No, come on. He's coming back around. Oh, there we go. Finish him off. Unfortunately, I got the F-84B coming around. Can't quite get around fast enough. Put a shell into him, and yeah, I die after he goes by me. Oh, fuck. Whatever. So, I'm going to spawn back in. Now I'm not needed anymore because we've taken both command centers. So now I'm going to start taking objectives back here. Pull up, start out, head turn to the north, and I pick up the Igor in the Yak-15. He is busy trying to wreck my bot, so I can't have any of that. Turn around on him. He is doing a damn nice job of trying to kill him. Put a couple shells into him, finish him off, and now it's back on to the next objective. However, by the time I get over here, they've already got their J7W2. John G has already taken the garrison, so now I'm going to have to deal with him, and then start working about taking the garrison back. We're sitting about 340 to 280, 290. So it's a pretty tight game right now. Between the two of us, or between this their team and ours, it's always was kind of a tight game. I'm sorry, 277 to 360 with 3-2-1. But we have both command centers, so I pick off the J7W2, and now I have to start working on these BF-109s and seeing if I can start taking this objective back. So drop down, and not quite getting him. I'm more worried about them going after my 2 bombers up here, so that's what I'm going to work on instead of flipping over and trying to take out a ground target. If I can keep those guys unmolested, they will flip this objective for me. Pull back around on the BF-19G, knock him out. Need 1 more kill to finish him off. However, the ME-410 is busy trying to kill me, and can't quite get up there to finish him off. Oh, come on. Losing kilometers per hour here. It's got a reasonably low stall speed. Back up and around, and that's about the time. The bombers flipped the objective, and we're back to, yeah. Now we've flipped all 5. Air superiority has been declared, and now it's just a matter of winning the game. So I'm back to center here. Hopefully I'm going to pick up some quick points before it ends. Between me and Sharim, I guess, we pretty much dominated the map between the two of us. So hope you guys enjoyed the game, and we'll have some more up tomorrow night. Alright, back with the first game in the J7W2, and it's a 5 objective map. And you're going to watch me play this a little bit more like a kind of a defense fighter. You know, it moves around the map fine, and of course it is a multi-role, so it has the ability to take out the planes and bomb targets as well. But sometimes you have to play this kind of a unusual way to win a game. So we're going to go over here to the military base here, right off the bat here. Got a couple of ME-410s here, and we got the GAs. And this is kind of the reason why I came over here, because I knew that the enemy GAs are going to be coming this way, and this is what this plane really excels at, is GA suppression. Being able to knock out GAs with a relatively, not even relatively, fucking epic firepower. So pull around here, and we're going to knock out the first one. Yep, about 3 to 4 bursts. Oh, there we go. And pick up the second one right off the bat, and we flip the objective. So, now it's about time I'm going to turn around here and start heading for the center objective. And we're going to see what we can do, which they already taken here, so I'm kind of looking here to see if I can knock out some aerial targets here. TA-152, ME-109TL. And that's about the time I noticed the bomber flight that is currently headed this way. Now this is kind of an important objective to take. Bombers are one thing, you can shoot them down. The missile military base, you can't stop the V2 rocket. So if you can hold on to this and just let it work slowly but surely, it will do a very nice job of taking objectives. So I'm looking for the GAs that are obviously headed that way, and whatever else is going to threaten it. And that's what I'm going to do with this. I'm going to try my damnedest to keep them from taking that objective. So pick up the first J7W2, and of course I'm getting nailed by something. Yep, there he is. Not quite sure what he's up to, but yeah, he's on my tail. Find out what your name is here. Fucking bots. Thankfully somebody's paying attention and knocks out the KI-94-2. So, 2 GAs left alone by themselves over here. They're going to do a number on this objective. So pull down, and surprise, surprise, I shouldn't be surprised, I know I shouldn't, but our bots are actually doing a pretty nice job. However, nobody's paying attention to the incoming bomber flight. So, this thing wrecks GAs. So what do you think it's going to do to a bomber flight? Yeah, and it has just enough altitude performance to get up here fast enough to deal with these incoming bombers. So pick up the first bomber coming through, and yep, this destroys it pretty quickly. Pulling around in here on the next bomber. Oh, 4 or 5 bursts, already into it. Not really a lot of health for this aircraft to be doing this, but since it destroys bombers so quickly, I usually don't get shot up too bad. So pick him up, and my GAs, or my bot defense fighters, actually drop off that GA, so I'm not having to work about it too much. So I've kind of taken the role here. This is what I'm going to have to do here. I'm going to be watching for GAs going there. And this is what I'm talking about with this missile facility. They can't really stop it. You know, obviously it's a V2. So as long as we can hold on to this position, we have a pretty good chance of winning. Now I do have a GA that currently moved into that objective, but we have these incoming bombers. So instead of dealing with the GA right off the bat, I'm going to deal with the bombers, and I'll work my way back to the objective and see if he's still alive when I get there. Pick up the first bomber, round on the second one. Oh, there we go. Pick him up, knock him out, and yeah, almost, yeah, actually more effective than the KI-94-1 I did earlier. But yeah, it does a pretty nice job here. So I'm going to pick this up, last bomber here, down to about 40 hit points. Yeah, that's the problem with the being just a multi-roll. So I got to finish these guys off because I have issues coming down below here. 2 GAs have moved into the objective, and once again I need to drop down to deal with them. GA Wrecker Extraordinaire, that's what this thing does. Pull in here on the ME-329, put some big shells into him. Yeah. See if we can knock off another one. Didn't quite get him. I'm going to be kind of limping around here with 21 hit points. Alright, so he finishes off the ME-329, and coming back around here, got the other ME-329 coming through. Hopefully I can knock him out and start turning our objective back to the blue a little bit. Put some more shells into him. Ooh, there we go. And I got a bomber flight coming in. Up we go. Yeah, these large HP targets with these 430s just melt. GAs, bomber formations, whatever you want to do, you have the ability to do. And honestly, dogfighting with this in a turn and burn kind of game just doesn't work. And of course, it doesn't really have the altitude to be a zoom and boom type aircraft. So we're going to pull up here. We got the first bomber formation coming in. And let's see if we can put some hurt on him here. Got one bomber almost dead. Put one there. And almost got that one. Flip over. leaving us with just the 2 left, actually the 4 left. Let's see if here we can pick up the last bomber before he gets too far out of my range. Sadly, he's just a little too far. Hopefully, the other one was going to knock out one more plane. The XB-72 knocks him out, so we are able to save the objective. So back to the objective here. I got one fighter up high in the BVP-210. Let's see if we can knock him out. Trying to keep this thing going. Like I said, with this military base and the constant firing of rockets, it's really keeping the enemy team constantly having to flip objectives. So drop down. They got the bombers coming in, but we're so far up right now. If I can just hold on to it just a little bit longer, we're going to win here. So pick up the ME-329 dropping, coming in here. Put some shells into him. Ooh, nice big bursts. 700, 900, yeah, just all over his shit. One more GA to go. If we can knock him out, like I said, before the bombers get here, we're sitting at about 750. So there's a pretty good chance we're going to win this. As long as they don't turn this too quickly, we should be all right here. Try to get a little bit closer. Yeah, these things are really more effective when they start getting under that 300, 200 meter range, and they start really hitting all at once. Pick him up, finish him off, turn it back to blue a little bit, but it's a little too late. Here comes the bombers, but we're sitting at 786. I did my job, held the objective, and it turned a number of their objectives for us. So that's the first game in it, and I'll bring up another one for you guys to check this plane out.